Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, Carol. Chase up the podiatrist and see if don't want to spoil people's Christmas. Breathless.
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Ten,
Oh,
nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy Christmas!
Yeah.
Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Dick. Happy Christmas, Con.
Oh,
Ho, 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 ho.
I just dropped in to see who's been naughty and who's been naughty.
I love it. Well, I've been really,
I'm
really
never naughty.
good. Oh, great.
Oh dear.
Oh, you're looking well, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel great.
Oh my goodness me, you're not Santa Claus at all.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
So shall we get going?
Yeah.
We shall.
Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why. I believe.
Who shall we pick to do the muting ceremony? Kathy Brown, I'm looking at you because you're unmuted. And I'm saying to you, would you please do the muting ceremony? Which means you just go 1, 2, 3, and then I mute all.
1, 2, 3. Mute all.
And there was silence.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful, Con? But don't forget, everybody, if you want to say anything, just put your hand up, which is the Zoom etiquette way of getting attention. And then I will unmute you and you can talk. But Con, what have we got in store for ourselves this week?
We've got a very full meeting today, or show, I should say. So I should be asking you, how was your month? And I'm sure you have lots of things to tell us about. And then we've got some old video diaries from 2018. And then we're going to have some fun and games. Oh, lots of fun. Can't wait for that. And then one of my favourite songs, Driving Home for Christmas, which is great. And then we've got birthdays. I'm sure we've got lots of birthdays this time. And then we should be singing Mary's Boy Child, which I love that song as well. And then, is this the greatest Christmas song? Adeste Fideles, which is Oh Come All Ye Faithful. So looking forward to all that today. So how was your month, Dick?
Well, my month was absolutely fantastic. I went to see Il Divo last night. Anybody like Il Divo? Put your hands up.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, we all like Il Divo. They were very good. But I would have to say, one of my favourite venues, the Brighton Centre, because the sound is just so good. The acoustics are so good. But I would have to say, in fact, the person next door to me said she must have been in show business as well, because she said, oh, you should give them notes. There was just a few little things lacking in perfection. They weren't warmed up for a start, but maybe it was the first 1 or 2 shows of the current Christmas tour they're doing. That was very interesting, because it's interesting for me, because I'm singing with Con all the time, to hear another act not warmed up. But after half an hour, suddenly they were Il Divo and they were warmed up. But the lighting was very, no. Could have been much better. Could have been much better. They didn't. If the lighting was set for a huge venue, and this was a 5,000 seater, which is different to an 8,000, 10,000 seater. So the lighting was maladjusted, which I found very, very odd. But it was a wonderful show. Lovely songs. They sang, of course, Somewhere, and I will, Connell, tell you, unashamedly, we will admit we stole our Somewhere from their Somewhere, and I would have to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our version is much better.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
But back in November, I went to see an amazing affair at my granddaughter's school. Just have a look at this.
Let us pray. Teach us, good Lord, to serve you as you deserve. The Cadet's Prayer. O God, our Father, who has brought us together as members of the combined cadet force, help us to do our duty at all times.
It's quite amazing, really, for all those who complain about private school and public schools and moan about the privilege and the silver spoon in the mouth. I've just witnessed that our country is quite safe in the hands of the private schools and the public schools. And I'm unashamed in saying that, unashamed. That was a wonderful display that we are all safe and we're going to be taken care of.
He can't see that. So yeah, I'll
And there she is, my granddaughter. There's the whole family.
Where's his mum? It's a movie.
It's not you I want, it's the medals. That's
lovely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we'll say that our Rotary Club as well, we laid a wreath in Elland at the memorial there. So I think it's a great tradition, and I think it should continue forever. You know, it's too many lives wasted in wars and things like that.
Yeah.
I think what should happen is, if two countries want to fight together, let the two presidents have a boxing match or tennis match or something.
Like, throw cream buns. That's a good one. Throw cream buns. That'd be marvellous, wouldn't it? But I've always got a lot to say about public school and private schools. I'm a great believer. Con and I went to private school, went to one of the best schools in Ireland, at the O'Connell School, very academic school. James Joyce went there. George Bernard Shaw went there. Many people. In fact, the other day, one of the past pupils emailed me and said, did you realise, and he sent me the story, did you realise the guy who designed all the aqueducts, in other words, all the systems for bringing water into Los Angeles when it was built first, went to my school. How about that? I couldn't believe that. But that was terrific. But Con, what else happened? What else happened to you, for instance?
Well, lots of things really. I went to see a nice show at the Victoria Theatre in Halifax the other night, and there was lots of the old 60s acts on, which I enjoyed, and I was just disappointed we weren't on the show as well. Anyway, not to worry. But yeah, it's been quite a hectic week or month, I should say, putting all these videos and things together. And I'm sure everybody's going to. I really enjoyed watching them back, and I hope everybody else enjoys them as well. So
Today about the amazing thing, and thank you, John Leyland. John Leyland's very interested in steam trains, as we know,
yes.
And he always shows us some fantastic pictures and everything. I love steam trains as well, because our father, Joseph Klusky, was one of the great. He was involved in all the designs and all that for the turf locomotives in Ireland, all that. So Con and I were very involved in steam trains. But John told me that there was an amazing thing going to happen in Eastbourne at the station. To go along, make sure to go along at 3 minutes past 1, and I did. And this is what happened. Just have a look at this. And that music, ladies and gentlemen, was written by the guy who did the orchestrations for our religious album produced by Norman Newell. And that is the music written by Johnny Douglas for the Railway Children. So have a look at this.
Oh, the coaches are a little bit tired. They're doing a good clean up. Oh, I see. Here's the seat. How did you book the tickets? How did you book the tickets? Possible to book a trip. The Railway Touring Company. The Railway Touring Company. I'll make a note of that. And I'd love to see it. I mean, look, splendid. Oh, that's just me. First class, of course.
Brings back such memories. Because Con and I actually were born and were brought up within shouting distance of TAE. companies, running sheds, they called them in those days, for and go to work there every day, and all the men come home for lunch at 1 o'clock, and then go back at a 1:45.
Goodbye. Brighton Bell. Bye-bye.
Well, it looks lovely there. All cleaned up.
What a wonderful sight. What a wonderful sight.
Such memories, such memories,
Lovely.
such memories, Con.
It looked lovely. It looks lovely there, you know, all cleaned up and everything. But when I was a student, I had to. I worked for 3 months at CIE repairing those steam engines and things, and I had the pleasure or displeasure of having to renew one of the bearings on one of the wheels. And it's the filthiest job. It's all packed with the old waste cloth and things, thick with grease. And when you get grease and steam and everything mixed up together, and all the dirt and filth and everything that goes with it, it's not a very pleasant job. But,
Don't say that, Con. Don't say that. John Leyland would love to be mixed up in all the grease and the muck, wouldn't you, John? Wouldn't you?
Well, I was for many years. In fact, that very engine was in a museum near where I grew up in Lancaster. And when it finished its days with British Railways in 1968, 2 people I knew bought it and put it in this museum at Carnforth. And for the best part of 16 years, I was a volunteer at that museum, and I worked on 4871 a lot. So if you think packing a bearing's dirty, you should try cleaning out the smoke box and the ash pan. You know, that's the worst part. But I love it.
John, may I ask a question? Oh, I've always wondered about enthusiasts buying steam engines, because we've no idea. Look at enthusiasts buying aeroplanes. I could never understand that. How much, or were you privy to the information to know how much they actually paid for that engine?
Yeah, they paid £2,800 for it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1968 money.
Oh,
my Bentley, the Bentley that I bought in 66, I think it was, I bought it, yeah. And it was when we were in Liverpool at the Royal Court, you'd remember. Was that 64, 65? 65 maybe. When I bought that Bentley, it was worth, I bought it for £2,345, and people said I was mad.
Yeah.
It's worth, last valuation was 1,380,000. So I just wonder how much that steam engine is worth today.
Probably about, it changed hands 5 years ago for 950,000.
Yeah, wow. yeah, same deal. Yeah. Well, that's
but they sold them for the scrap value. They paid the scrap price. When British Railways were so keen to get rid of them very quickly in 1968, they sold them all for scrap. So
good Lord.
When the changeover came, you know, into diesel, there was a lot of queer deals done. Yeah. But the big mistake they made in Ireland, over here, like they had one design, and they'd made maybe 20, 30 engines, steam engines, just all the same. So if one broke down, you could take it apart from another one, a spare part, and interchange them. In Ireland, every new engineer that came to work at CIE, they were asked to design a steam engine. So every engineer had his own steam engine. And so with the result, there was no two alike. They were all different. So if something broke down, they literally had to make a new part, brand new part for the
But Con, if you remember, that's where my father came in, because my father was the guy. He was the go-to guy, and no matter what happened, they go to Joseph Tlusky, and he would literally work through the night. And many times we remember that. And all they did was feed him with tea. He loved tea. And when the Germans brought over their first demonstration diesel engine to Ireland to demonstrate in front of the government, all the government officials and all that, to sell them to CIE, one of the parts let them down. And who did they go to but Joseph Tlusky? And they said, and my father told us this, they said there is no way that any engineer outside Germany could make this particular part. And they fed him tea all night long. And what did Joseph Tlusky do? He made the part and saved the day.
Yeah.
Here we are, back to 2018.
That's
before all this COVID shenanigans. Let's see what life was like for Con and I in 2018 in January. Here we go.
2018.
And the vision that was
Isn't that beautiful? This is early in the morning, Stanton Prior, Darley Road, meets Eastbourne. And this is me in my bedroom in the early morning, looking out at the beautiful snow. Isn't that gorgeous? You know, you could sit and watch the snow for hours and hours and hours. I think it's gorgeous. Wonder what I'll do today. I think I'll just sit and watch the snow. Shall I sit and watch the snow? I think I will.
Well, here we are. Bachelor's Review for January. Quite a strange one this time. We had a very strange January, Con and I. We had a lot of private stuff happen to us. And we don't like to share private stuff. We're quite private people, Con and I. But suffice it to say, we've got through it and we're up and running again and back doing shows. But we didn't do many shows in January. One in particular we did, which was fantastic, was the Butlin's Minehead show. Unfortunately, they wouldn't allow us to film it. And we had the cameras and everything ready to actually film it properly. But they wouldn't allow us to do that. It was quite something though. It was about 3,500 to 4,000 people. Quite a big one. Tremendous audience. Con and I absolutely adored it. So this time for our review, you probably know quietly that we're putting a DVD together. And I thought we'd just give you a little insight into what we're doing on the DVDs. The first section is Con and I just chatting and talking at Con's house about the best show that Con ever saw. Here's a question. What's the best show you've ever seen?
The best show I've ever seen. Now there's the thing. When I was at school and I was in equity, I used to go
That's an admission of insanity for a start. Go on.
I used to go to the Theatre Royal in Dublin every Tuesday or Thursday afternoon, because with your equity card you could get in free.
Really?
Yeah. The Theatre Royal, it was the biggest theatre in Europe.
Yes, it was
over 4,000 seats.
Was it?
Yeah, it was huge. And I saw some great shows there, because what used to happen was all the American acts, the big American acts, when they'd be coming out to London to do the Palladium or whatever, they would stop off in Dublin and try their act out in Dublin in the Theatre Royal before they came to England.
Because the planes used to fly into Shannon Airport.
That's right. Yeah.
And then they'd fly out then over to London.
Yeah. But I saw some fabulous shows there.
So what was the best one?
It's hard to say. Actually, funny enough, one of the best shows was a guy called Stan Stennett from Wales.
Yes.
Because Stan came over and he was loved. All the Irish people loved him.
That's right.
And the thing was, with the Theatre Royal, you had to show last week's ticket before you got one for Sunday night. Open Sunday night.
It was absolutely packed. The place was packed, solid.
Sunday night. And on Monday morning, everybody in Dublin knew who had been to the Theatre Royal the night before. And say, what's the show like? What's the show like? And if it was good, word of mouth. If it was good, the place was packed for the week. If it was no good, then the place was empty for the week.
Do you know, I remember that.
And Stan Stennett, he packed the place for the week.
Yes.
So much so that they kept him on for an extra week.
And you know the story? Actually, Stan became a great friend of ours, as you know, because he was a member of the Grand Order of Water Rats. Yeah. And he was in Emmerdale and shows like that eventually.
Yeah, that's right.
But the lovely thing which I've often said to Stan, I say, it's quite astonishing that you were so popular that they kept you over for another week.
Yeah.
Now, if you were so popular and you were so good, how come you were not performing? You were available for the following week.
Exactly.
We often laughed about that. It's a good story.
Yeah. He was a lovely man, though.
There we are, Stan Stennett.
He was a lovely man.
He was, dearly missed. So, what are we getting on to now, Con?
Oh, what I was going to say was Eric Morecambe. He went down to see and did a show with Stan, and that was the night he died, actually.
Really?
Just after the show, It was like a chat show where Stan was interviewing the good man, and unfortunately he died just after that.
You know what I noticed, Con, in that show? I've got more hair now. Actually, look.
Yeah.
I've actually got more hair than I had in that. Did anybody notice that? Yeah, I got a big bald patch at the back. I don't know where that's gone. It's disappeared.
Can you let me know the secret?
Yeah, that's got to be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. So now, what are we doing next, Con?
Well, we got this month's fun and games, and what are we going to do about this fun and games?
I have got a brilliant idea. What I am going to do now, because I'm just doing funny stuff in the background now, I am going to go on to the gallery view. Oh, admit somebody else late. I wonder have they brought a note. I hope it's not that person who's going to start saying rude things to you, Lynn. If it is, I'll get rid of him very quick. Don't worry. Now I've got it on gallery view, and I'm looking at everybody, and I've got a few questions for you. I've got a question for Graham Bauer. I'm looking at you, Graham Bauer. You're a bit dark there, Graham, and you're waving. That's lovely. Graham, I want to ask you, somebody else is unmuted. Oh, it's in your house, is it, Graham? It's a bit noisy. No problem. But I'm going to ask. Daddy's on the television. I've got a question for you. Here's a queer question. And try and talk for as long as you can. I'll stop you when you've said too much. What was the worst Christmas present you ever had? Graham.
Oh, the worst Christmas present I ever had. I can't think of one that was really bad, to be honest, if I'm honest.
Make it up.
No,
make it up.
Make it up. The worst Christmas present I ever had was probably a Des O'Connor LP.
Joy.
Can I just say that Des is actually short for desperate.
You stole that off the what's it?
Christmas cracker. A Christmas cracker. Joy, I'm looking at you. Can I ask you, what was the best Christmas present that you ever gave?
Yeah, a trip down to London.
Lovely. A Christmas, a trip down to London. Tell us all about it, Joy.
Well, it was actually for this Christmas. Went down to the Royal Albert Hall and I took my partner, paid for his train ticket, his ticket to see the show, and hotel, everything. So that was the best one, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Very good.
And listen, I'm looking at you, Kathy Brown. What was the worst present you ever received?
I can tell you one present I'm giving this year, which you'd probably like, and that's a trip on the steam train to around Crewe and Stoke-on-Trent. Too.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Unfortunately, you went off a little bit there, but we got the gist of it. So that's lovely, Kathy. Catherine Coates, I'm looking at you. Catherine, can I ask you this question? What is the best food you ever had at Christmas and where was it? And tell us all about it. Who was there? On you go.
I always have the Christmas lunch whenever we go anywhere. And I wouldn't say any of them stood out in particular. Quite a number of them have all been very nice. I could tell you the worst one.
Go on.
Well, we had gone, a group of us, to this restaurant, and the menu looked fantastic with cranberry, chestnut, all this kind of thing, all the trimmings. And it turned out all we got was the turkey, 2 pieces of turkey, Yorkshire pudding, 2 roast potatoes, some mashed potatoes, and all these little extras, like the cranberry, sage, and everything else, were all combined in the stuffing. So, you know, it was a bit of a, I think we could have taken them to the trades descriptions, that kind of thing. And then the Christmas pudding was supposed to be brandy sauce. Now, I'm not that keen on brandy sauce, but I have it because it's Christmas. And of course, when it came, it was custard. And quite a few of us noticed that, me in particular. So we ended up getting most of our money back.
Oh, that's lovely, Catherine. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was beautiful. Well, may I tell you a little story? This is why I wanted to ask those questions was this. My wife, Sandy, Con knows this story, so he'll nod his head, has the saddest Christmas story in the world. When she started in show business, she lied about her age. She was only 15, but she said she was 18. And she ended up in Sunderland doing the panto with Dave Allen. And Dave Allen then afterwards became such a friend because he really looked after Sandy in those days. He kept everybody away from her. They did a show on Christmas Eve night, which is unbelievable. And she's stuck in Sunderland. She couldn't get home. She didn't tell her parents. She just said she was stuck there. So they assumed everything was going to be good. The digs were typical in those days, freezing cold. They had 1 bar of an electric fire in the front room, and that was it, nothing in the bedrooms. So she sat in her bedroom all day long on Christmas Day. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink. The landlady didn't even come up and wish her a happy Christmas. It got to about 4:30. There was a knock on the door, and the landlady gave her 1/2 of a sandwich and said, "That's just in case you're hungry." And she ate it and went back to bed and cried herself to sleep. Isn't that the saddest story in the world? And that was my Sandy.
Wow.
Isn't that terrible?
Was her name Mrs. Scrooge?
But Dave became then one of our dearest friends, a lovely man. He loved his, what was the drink? Champagne and Guinness. What was that called, Con? Champagne and Guinness. It was something cocktail, but it was lovely. Guinness cocktail. But he loved that. Unfortunately, he became an alcoholic, and which is a sad thing to happen to anybody. It happens to so many in our business. and that was it. But a lovely man.
Actually, his brother.
Yeah. What was his brother's name?
Yeah.
O'Mahony. Something O'Mahony. Well, that was his real name.
His brother was a manager at Butland's holiday camp, and I was away for a long time. God knows where I was, but they went down there for a week, and in actual fact, I had a great time because he really looked after them.
Dave O'Mahony. That was his name. Yeah. Lovely guy. Yeah. So shall we get on, Con? What's next?
Well, it's your turn now to introduce something. I haven't had a chance to introduce any. Can I introduce this?
Of course you can. On you go, Con.
This is, as you know, in show business, most show business people nowadays, they drive for miles and miles and miles, and they're away for a lot of the time, doing pantomime or whatever. And it's lovely when Christmas time comes and you're driving home for Christmas. And this is a song all about it, Driving Home for Christmas, which Dex sings very, very well.
I know I do.
Better than the original.
Driving home for Christmas. Oh, I can't wait to see those faces. Driving home for Christmas, yeah. Well, I'm moving down that line, and it's been so long. But I will be there singing this song, pass the time away, driving in my car, driving home for Christmas. It's gonna take some time, but I'll get there. Top the toe and tail backs, yeah. Oh, I got red lights all around. Red lights all around. Soon there'll be a freeway, yeah. Get my feet on holy ground. So I'll sing for you, though you can hear me when I get through. Be near me, driving in my car, driving home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas with 1,000 memories. Take a look at that driver next to me. He's just the same, just the same. Top the toe and tail backs, yeah. Oh, I got red lights all around. Red lights all around. Driving in my car, yeah. Get my feet on holy ground. So I'll sing for you, though you can hear me when I get home. Feeling near me, driving in my car, driving home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas with 1,000 memories. I take a look at the driver next to me. He's just the same.
and that was all done at Stanton Prior. Isn't that amazing, Con? Amazing.
Yeah,
so what should we do now? I think I just open it all up because I want to see what the applause was like. Ah, look at that, Con! Look at that! That's amazing. That is amazing. Look at that, all going. Now, go, put your hand in your pocket and throw money. Throw money. Come on, throw money. Throw money. That's what makes everybody in the show business happy. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for that. That's lovely. Thank you. And back to you, Con.
Well, you know, my daughter Carol has just come in and reminded me, you were talking earlier about Christmas presents. And my wife Kay, she started to get into knitting. And one year I bought her a knitting machine and she hated it.
I remember that machine in Kingston, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the worst. She said the worst present she ever got. Anyway, that's there. Driving home for Christmas. I remember years ago when we were doing pantomime and all that, being away for weeks on end, rehearsing and everything, and then getting home for Christmas. It started off when I moved to Elland first, New Hall, and there was 4 families living on the farm. And first year I was there, I invited them all in for a glass of champagne, you know, on Christmas Day. I thought it'd be very nice. That's lovely. And the following year, then I invited them again. They said, "Oh, can we bring some friends with us?" I said, "Yeah, okay." And the champagne started getting a bit expensive, so I bought a barrel of beer, which we had that, and then it went on to punch. Following me, oh, can we bring a few more friends? Yeah, bring some friends. And one Christmas day, I had 75 people in the house. And we had a great time because the farmer was a great organ player, and he used to bring his organ up to the house, and I had Christmas carols printed and everything, and we had some great Christmases there. You know, that was fantastic. But it went on for so long, and then my wife Kay got fed up with the whole thing. Said, "Oh, that's enough. That's enough." And we stopped doing it. I'm sorry we did, because
Con, 75 people and you knew 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. Well, I was asked, I was at a Toastmasters meeting in Las Vegas, would you believe, ladies and gentlemen? I'm a member of a club in Las Vegas. So I go on Zoom and go over there. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that. And they asked me the other night, what was the worst present I ever got at Christmas? And I told this story. When I was 7, 8 years of age, 6 maybe, the sort of age when you start questioning the validity of Father Christmas. I didn't tell anybody, didn't tell my parents, didn't call my brother, didn't say anything. But I suppose I was at school, is there really a Father Christmas? For goodness sake. So I said, well, I'll know for real. I'll see, do I get any presents tonight? That's the thing. And we had an Auntie Mary who used to work in Eason's in the middle of Dublin, O'Connell Street. And she looked after the toy department. And Con and I used to wonder every year why every toy we got, if it was clockwork, the key would be missing. If it was battery, the battery would be missing. If it had wheels, the wheels were missing. And it's only years afterwards we realised, of course, our parents were getting, everybody was strapped for cash in those days. My parents were getting the presents from Auntie Mary. Came to Christmas night, Christmas Eve night, all went to bed. It was fine. I woke up at 12 o'clock, no Christmas presents. Woke up at 1 o'clock, no Christmas presents. Woke up at 4 o'clock, no Christmas presents. 7 o'clock, no Christmas presents. Got out of bed, no Christmas presents. And I must say, I shed a tear because the reality struck me. There is no Father Christmas. And I went up the stairs after my breakfast, and there, propped up on the door outside our bedroom, was a toy pirate sword. And it was put there by my brother Con. And I'll always remember that, Con. I've never told you that story, but that was the saddest Christmas of my life. I cried. Well, I cried from joy because I did get a toy pirate sword from my great brother Con. Isn't that the saddest story you've ever heard in your life?
Oh.
Now, don't cry. Don't cry. No, please don't cry. Get on, Con. What are we doing next?
Well, birthdays. Who's got birthdays? I know I've got 2 birthdays. My grandchildren, actually, Freddie and Lydia, both have Christmas presents. Or Christmas, both have birthdays on Christmas, round about Christmas. And I believe another relative of mine has a birthday as well, and that's Dec. Dec's birthday is on the 23rd of December. So
happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Dec. Happy birthday to me.
Hey.
Well, go on, Con. Go on, Con.
Yeah. So anyways, I would like to wish them a happy birthday. I don't know if they'll be watching in today or whenever. Anyway, happy birthday, Freddie and Lydia. For
anybody else with a birthday, do you think, Lynn?
We've got Catherine Coates here. She's got a birthday on the 14th of December. And after you've had the cake for Catherine, I've got a cake here with candles for someone else with a birthday.
Okay. So it's happy birthday to you, Freddie and Lydia and Catherine. Happy birthday to you, Freddie and Lydia and Catherine.
Kevin.
Your turn, Con.
Happy birthday, dear Freddie, Lydia and Catherine, and Dec. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Now, Catherine.
Yeah. I'd like to say it's also my daughter's birthday on the 23rd.
What's her name?
Caroline.
And Caroline, happy birthday to you, Caroline, and many more. So, you know the deal. Catherine, it's over to you, and you go 1, 2, 3, because there is your... Oh, there's a story to this. Of course there is. I went to a refuge the other day, and it was somebody's birthday. And I'm ashamed to say this. I went in, and I stole the cake.
How dare you.
And this is the very cake that I stole with the candles. And I'm ashamed of myself, and I ask you all for forgiveness. But Catherine, over to you. Would you like to blow out the candles, please? So it's, you know the deal. You say 1, 2, 3, and then you blow. Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Ha! Ha!
Somebody can't blow.
No, blow harder, Catherine. Ha!
Oh,
did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? There was a bit of a blasphemy there, but I won't say what it was. But I thank you very much to my assistant. But that was wonderful. That was the longest. No, I shouldn't say it really. No. Close the place. But that was lovely, and happy birthday, Catherine. Thank you very much.
I've got my helper here now. He's about to light the candles. But I've got a story to tell about. It's not actually the worst Christmas present I had. One year, my grandmother bought me a bottle of my favourite perfume, and I sprayed it on liberally. And then 5 minutes later, my parents said, "What's that horrible smell?" And it was a perfume. It had gone off. And I spent the rest of the day trying to scrub my neck and trying to get rid of this awful smell. And it lingered all day long.
Oh dear.
So it's such a shame.
Yeah.
Right, candles are lit.
Yeah, right.
And the deck. Happy birthday, deck, for the 23rd. You have to say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
That was magic.
Oh, that was a big blow.
That was a big blow.
Went off instantly. There's no delay. Well, I've got this thing up there on the ceiling. I think that's where it came through. There's a thing in the corner there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So that's terrific. And I'll be another year older.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dak, you'll only be a day older than you were the day before.
That's it. Right. I'll tell you something. I'm going to have a whopping great birthday this year. Whopping great big birthday. And I'm going to really celebrate, and I'm going to have a fantastic time. But Con, what's next?
Well, here's one of my favourite songs. I love singing this on stage coming up to Christmas. And it's Mary's Boy Child. And I enjoyed filming it as well. Sat by the fire. It was lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. While shepherds watched their flock by night, they saw a bright new shining star. They heard a choir sing. The music seemed to come from afar. Now Joseph and his wife Mary came to Bethlehem that night. They found no place to bear the child. Not a single room was in sight. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. By and by they found a little nook in a stable all forlorn, and in a manger cold and dark, Mary's little boy was born. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
Beautiful, Con.
Lovely. I love singing that song.
I'll tell you what, I think we should thank all the musicians involved with that.
Indeed, yeah.
And we should thank all the production team involved with that.
Indeed.
Because that was really,
yeah.
Really thank them all. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
There was a degree of irony, but there we are. Let's see. Back to the gallery. Look at that. Yes. Even Con's applauding. And look at Philip. Now, Philip. I'm looking at you, Philip. Okay, we can all stop. I'll stop. I'll concentrate on Philip. Now, Philip, what did I have to always say, because that guitar sound at the start, I mean, that was something else, wasn't it?
It's like a nice Stratocaster clean sort of sound.
Your brother said to me, "Oh yeah, that was the old Hofner, wasn't it?"
Really?
You recognize it immediately. That is one of the best sounds I've ever had from a guitar, and you are absolutely right. It was a Fender Stratocaster through Marshall
JMP1
preamp, which is my favorite. Yeah, in life. Still use that. You know, it's an ancient bit of kit now, but it still gives me the sound that I adore. So, what are you up to, Philip?
I'm doing the 10th anniversary of a very swanky place. I'm in a little boudoir-y sort of room outside.
Whoa.
And then, would you like a little tour? I can take you inside.
Yeah, please.
All right. It's very nice. It's called Number 10. It's in Lindley in Huddersfield, and it's a bit mafia, but
mafia.
But they're lovely people, and we do a great job for them. So this is the outdoor area. It's all very posh, isn't it? We've got an outdoor TV room in there, and then take you through. They've got these chaps are doing a hog roast.
Oh, lovely.
So it's the Greedy Little Pig Hog Roast Company. A little plug for you there, lads. What we like. Yeah. And yeah, down there is where the little hog's getting ready. And then I'll flip the camera around and I'll just give you a little tour of the venue and what we're actually doing. So,
you've got 30 seconds. You've got 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, don't worry. We're in here. So that's the venue. Who's ready for us?
Okay.
Come through the venue now. Lots of people ready. See a little enough, and then there's the stage area there. All ready for us. I borrowed Dad's guitar.
Oh yeah, nice.
So we've got the Gibson tonight. That's all the gear. Run the show off a MacBook Pro. So there you go.
That's lovely, Philip.
The place will be absolutely rammed in about half an hour. So
you're making me completely jealous, because Con and I miss live performing like mad, but there we are.
Well, Dad's about 20 minutes drive away, so straight after the meeting he could come up and join us and do a couple of songs.
What about me? I'm stuck down in Eastbourne, making these silly videos.
We'll chat to you a jet.
That's lovely. Okay, thank you very much, Philip. And back
You're
to
very
your
welcome.
Father, Con, what's next?
Well, I wish him all the best for his show this afternoon. So now here's a song, and I remember, I believe your daughter, you roped her into singing on this as well, and she sent an email to me saying, I sang the song. I said, I didn't mind singing it, but it was in Latin, you know. But it's one of my favorite hymns. It's called Adeste Fideles.
And I would have to tell you, Con, that El Divo sang it last night, and it wasn't a patch on what we do. And that's being very, very, very honest, because I tell you what I didn't like about the way they did it. They did that 4-part harmony thing where you couldn't figure out the melody. Have you ever come across that with classical singers? They all have those big voices, and you don't know where the melody is. Yeah. They're all over the place. It's all very powerful and very big, and they're all trying too hard, which you never do. You never try too hard. That's just the way you sing it. And that's beautiful.
You got to listen to the other singers while they're singing.
Well,
and balance your voices.
Dolly Parton put it beautifully, and I always say it. And anybody there tonight, listening to this today, who's in a choir, remember this from Dolly Parton. And I say it to people all the time. You've always got to sing under the other singers. I had a friend of mine, Dr. Patrick Parker, and he said, I've got a huge problem there. Can you help me? I said, what's the problem? He says, I sing too loud in the choir. And I said, Patrick, it's very simple. You just sing quieter. But let's get on, Con. So
Yeah.
we have now got the wonderful, the gorgeous, the amazing, and this is really something. Adeste Fideles.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Adeste Fideles, Lady Triumphantes, venite, venite in Bethlehem. Natum videte, regem angelorum, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus Dominum. Deum Dei Deo, lumen Dei lumine, gestant puelle viscera. Deum verum genitum non factum, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus Dominum. O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of ages. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord.
Very, very
That
good.
was the biggest venture we have ever done in our lives. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas.
Let's see the applause. Let's see the applause. Let's see the applause. Look at that. And happy Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas, everybody. So it's happy Christmas from me in Eastbourne. And
happy Christmas from me in Elland. And don't call it Xmas, anybody, please. Always remember the true meaning of Christmas. It's Christmas, when Christ was born. And God bless you all. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, happy Christmas. God bless.
And listen, I think the most wonderful thing to say, Con, that you usually says is have a happy and a holy Christmas. So from Con and I, the microphones will be open now. You can chat as much as you like. And I am actually rehearsing a play, which I am doing on Zoom. Can you believe it? I have got the starring role in an Alan Ayckbourn play, and I'm rehearsing that at 4 o'clock. So you can keep on talking until 4 o'clock, and then I want it. So here we go. Happy Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye. See you on the 2nd of January. Goodbye, Con.
Happy Christmas, Dick.
Happy Christmas. Thank
Happy
you.
Christmas and God, Dick and Thank you.
Happy Christmas.
Bye, Philip. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.